Hello everybody, welcome back to sunny, well now sunny Sarasota, Florida. C&S Corvettes, it's your Corvette buddy Lyle, here to talk to you about more interesting, exciting, and important Corvette stuff. Clearly we survived the hurricane, although the barrier islands in our area were almost completely destroyed. Thankfully, all of us and all of our homes and the shop are safe. So thank you so much for your calls and emails. We really do appreciate how much you guys think about us, and we are just fine. Again, thank you for checking on us. Also, before we get started on today's topic, our international Corvette photo contest is completed. You can watch that video and you're going to see all of the 50 or so entrants listed. They've all been randomized and they each have a number attached to them. So go ahead and view all of those, and in the comments below, make sure to pick the number of the picture that you think is the best, put it in there, and whoever gets the most votes is going to win the prize package that I discussed in the video, the Corvette hat, the C&S Corvette shirt, and a couple of books signed by me. So make sure to check that video out. Now, on to today's topic. As I'm sure you're all aware, we've just been through Hurricane Helene. Now, sadly, hurricanes are not something that we are strangers to here. Even on the west coast of Florida, which is usually the quieter part of the hurricane neighborhood, we've had a lot of activity recently in the last 4 to 5 years. Ian came through a couple of years ago and really screwed up our area. And a lot of the people who just lost their homes in Helene out on the islands had just finished rebuilding after Ian. So they had 3 months in their house before it got flooded again. I have also received several dozen phone calls yesterday and today from people in our local area, within 100 miles of us, whose Corvettes unfortunately got flooded out. Now, this was storm surge, so it is salt water, not fresh water, and that makes a big difference. We're going to talk today particularly about the steps if you're ever in the horrible position that your Corvette gets caught in a saltwater flood. Here are the steps you need to do. Number one, once the floodwaters recede and you can get back to the car, do not power it up and do not attempt to start it. First thing you have to do is establish how high the water was and how much water got into the interior. Especially on the more modern cars, C4s, C5, C6, C7, C8, if you ended up with about that much water into the floorboard inside the car, I've got bad news. That means that car is most likely dead. Can it be fixed? Short term? Sure. If your insurance company is willing to pay the money, it can be fixed. Long term, is it going to stay fixed? Nope. It is going to give you problems because saltwater intrusion kills cars. It corrodes all your wiring. It corrodes all your connections. It kills electric motors and relays. It causes every metal to rust or corrode, and it stinks. Even if you clean everything, replace everything, if that car's been sitting with saltwater residue in it for several days before you could get back to it, it's going to be tough to get that smell out, but really the smell's the least of your problems. Mechanically and electronically, this car is now compromised. So you're left, what do you do? Well, step number 2, call your insurance company. You haven't powered up the car, you haven't tried to start the car. You looked at it, you realized, there's been water intrusion inside the car. Hello, insurance company. And assuming you have comprehensive coverage, the insurance company is going to send an adjuster out. They're going to make an assessment, and then they are going to either decide to give you the option to repair the car, or they're just going to cut you a check for the value of the car. This is the correct answer. Anybody who tells you, oh no, it can be saved, it can be, but it's going to be costly, it's going to take a lot of time, and once you get it back, you're going to have that little honeymoon period where things work, but then this is going to fail, and that's going to stop working. You're going to get this code, and it's going to be the death of 1,000 cuts. Do not attempt to repair a saltwater flood car. Now, there are a lot of shops in the world who are capable of fixing a saltwater flood car. We're one of them. We don't do it because our reputation matters to us. And the fact that we are taking money for a service, we want to provide a service that we know we can stand behind. A lot of shops, though, this is how they make their living, and if the insurance company goes to them and says, we're going to give you a big fat check, and you're going to repair this car, they're going to say, okay, and they're going to do it. And you will get a repaired car back for a little while. But once the little problems start and move into bigger problems, your Corvette ownership experience is going to go downhill fast. So if you have the choice to sell a saltwater flooded car to your insurance company, sell it. Do not keep it. Here, would you buy your car again, the exact car, if somebody had told you it had been a saltwater flood? No, you wouldn't buy that car. I wouldn't buy that car. You shouldn't buy that car. That answers your question right there. You don't want that car. Take the money, go get a different car, a newer car, a different color, a better car, whatever. Do not keep the saltwater flooded car. So now, on the other side of things, if you only have limited insurance coverage, like liability only, or the car's in storage and it hasn't been insured because it's off the road, you're working on it, it's a project, whatever, and that gets flooded, well, my advice still stands. Do not attempt to fix this car. However, now you are going to have to sell your car outright to somebody who can do something with it. Now, I'm assuming everybody I'm talking to is honest, right? And they're going to call it as a saltwater flood car, which you should, because it's the right thing to do. Most of the places that are going to be interested in buying that car are going to be places like us, who salvage out cars, specifically Corvettes, and glean the good parts off the car that weren't hurt by the saltwater. Things like body panels and stuff like that that still have a real value, but obviously you're not going to get a lot of money for the car because it is at this point no longer a car. It is a bunch of usable parts combined with a much bigger bunch of really unusable parts that resemble a car. So be aware of that. We do buy flooded, damaged Corvettes. We buy them all the time. If you are in Southwest Florida or in Florida at all and you have a Corvette that was flooded out and you didn't have an insurance company or a policy that would allow you to turn the car in and get a check, and you need to get rid of the car, contact us. You know, we will be honest with you. If it's something we can use, we will tell you. If it's something we can't use, we will also tell you that. But we will help you however we can. So, I know I want to keep this brief. Just if your car got flooded, go through these steps a couple of times. Make sure you understand anything. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below, and I'll get to them as quick as I can. As you know, we've been inundated with requests for this information. I will get to you as quick as I can. But please, please, please do not fall into the trap of trying to repair a saltwater flooded car. It is going to lead you to nowhere but misery, and I want you to have fun with the Corvette hobby. So take your money from the insurance company or from whoever you sell the car to and go get yourself a car that hasn't been through that disaster. That's it for today. Let me know your thoughts and comments below. I hope you find this helpful. Take care.